Good evening, friends. Thank you for being with us here at 6. I'm Elizabeth Vowell. Greg has the night off. We start with the WAFB I-TEAM. This may come as no big surprise, but the widening of I-10 through Baton Rouge is delayed. The work was supposed to wrap up in 2028. Tonight, public records we obtained show the project is behind schedule, now expected to be complete in 2031. Our chief investigator, Chris Nakamoto, went looking for answers to find out what's the holdup. Chris.
Good evening, Liz. The project was ambitious when it was announced, with the state knowing it needed to acquire property to make the widening happen. Tonight, public records show at least 22 pieces of property have yet to be acquired by the state. The constant hum of cars whizzing by is a sound Frank McIntyre has come to love. Underneath the elevated section of I-10 at his favorite Baton Rouge restaurant, the Overpass Merchant.
It's a great place to eat, especially the trivia on Monday nights is really nice, but the fish tacos, excellent.
But he's not so sure he can keep coming back, as the interstate widening on I-10 through Baton Rouge promises to encroach on his preferred place to eat.
It's difficult enough to navigate around here as it is, sometimes functionally impossible, especially when there's a lot of people out drinking. If you put more interstate here, yeah, you may alleviate the problem for a week, but is that the solution that they're trying to solve?
In 2023, state leaders announced an ambitious project to widen I-10 from the new bridge to Acadian Thruway. The project at the time was touted as the answer to Baton Rouge's common congestion and traffic trouble. Drivers were told to pack their patience. This is what the Department of Transportation and Development said 2 years ago.
There's going to be ongoing work on I-10 from now till 2028. So you need to pay attention to your favorite local news station.
Fast forward 2 years and the project has an extraordinary delay. 2031 is now the estimated completion date, an additional 3 years longer than expected. The WAFB I-TEAM put in public records requests 2 months ago and found the state had 182 properties to purchase in order to move forward with the widening project. But as of 2025, there are still 22 properties where the owners have held out, not selling their land to the state. The state is currently in the process of trying to acquire those remaining pieces of property. The I-TEAM asked for a list of those properties, and we received this from DOTD. It includes a dozen names, among them the Overpass Merchant, Hollydale Condominiums, and Alpine Acadian LLC. We searched Alpine Acadian LLC and found it's a section of property behind the shopping center where Trader Joe's is. The delays and the expansion are frustrating for McIntyre.
I wouldn't go so far as to say empty promises, because that implies that they knew what they were promising in the first place.
Back in 2022, DOTD promised this widening would address the community's traffic woes.
People are like, why are you working on the interstate? I sit in traffic an hour every day. That's why we're working on the interstate, because you sit in traffic an hour every day. And it's only going to get worse and worse and worse. It's going to stymie the growth of our community if we don't go out there and make these improvements.
With a 3-year delay now forecast, the I-TEAM requested an interview with DOTD about the properties they have left to acquire and how long it's going to take. Cagey about going on camera, DOTD issued the following statement to the WAFB I-TEAM from their spokesman, Rodney Mallett. Because there are ongoing negotiations with property owners, I will not be available for an interview, but I can give you a general update. The project is scheduled to be complete in 2031. That includes the rebuild of the eastbound lanes, configuration of new interchanges, bike path, etc., from I-110 to Perkins. Contractors build contingencies into their timelines for a variety of possible delays. But at this point, we think 2031 is an attainable completion date. As McIntyre reflects on the impact this project will have, he intends to keep patronizing his favorite establishment as long as he can.
This is a great place, and I would not like to see it torn down, especially for something as patently ridiculous as expanding an interstate. It's just going to create more of the problem they're trying to solve. They need to take that money and put it into public transit, especially in a city like Baton Rouge, where public transit is so racially divided. Let's heal that divide instead of creating more traffic, more expense, and more problems that, especially problems that destroy this restaurant.
The managers and workers at the overpass merchant told us they were assured by the state in meetings over the years that nothing would happen to their restaurant with the widening project. We asked DOTD for clarity on why the name of their restaurant showed up on the state's acquisition list, but we did not get an answer from them. Calls to the owner were also not returned. For the WAFB I-TEAM, I'm Chris Nakamoto. Liz?
Okay, Chris, thank you.